Now let's talk about your boy, BGS Ibmor, because a lot of cats have seen me make small conversation about BGS on a couple of my other videos, man. They're trying to wonder, like, what's your beef or what's your gripe with BGS? And I don't have no beef or no gripe with the nigga. I just don't worship the nigga like a lot of y'all do, man. I mean, everything that he said has never really wowed me. It's never really floored me. I've never really been just like, wow, he's the master teacher. Like, master teacher to who and of what? I'm like, okay, man, you give some okay information, nigga, but like I said, I just don't worship a homeboy like y'all do, man. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm an old head just like he is. I've been around the track 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. But I mean, there is some things that are troublesome about the nigga, man. I mean, he professes to have knowledge. He professes to be a Gnostic. I believe the correct term for a Gnostic is an individual who's a lover of knowledge and wisdom. But when I hear homeboy speak, man, I don't really hear that. I hear a nigga that is kind of obsessed with maintaining the status quo. That's what I hear, because he invests heavily in the information and the knowledge that he gets from white sources. I mean, come on, man. For any dude to sit up there and rock with the bullshit sources that he pulls from. I mean, he acts like he's never heard of Project Mockingbird, man. How the CIA is basically controlling the narrative of what you hear and what you see and what you think through mainstream media. And now they've overreached into social media. So BGS pulls a lot of information from sources that have been tainted by Project Mockingbird, CIA disinformation campaigns. He has the nerve to get online and spit how knowledgeable he is by pulling from these tainted sources. And it really became evident, man, when he started, towing the party line on Biden against Trump and COVID-19. I'm like, he's really buying this bullshit that these motherfuckers are disseminating across the airwaves? This is supposed to be the master teacher? I mean, we already see how the media ain't for you, black man. We were just talking about Lil Nas X in that bullshit video. And it's just amazing. I just sit back in amazement how you got these so-called enlightened pro-black niggas, right? Who will sit up and say, oh, the media is against the black man. And the black man's getting the short end of the stick about how his image is being portrayed and yada, yada, this and that, yada, yada. But they'll go ahead and they will trust the media when it comes to other information and other issues and topics, man. I'm like, so you think the media is only lying to you about the character of the black man? You don't think the media is lying to you about politics? You don't think the media is lying to you about COVID-19? You don't think that this is a literal martial law actually getting you used to being told what to do, where to go, what to say, and what to think? You don't think that they're prepping you to be good slaves? I mean, I've always known that homeboy was the weakest link, man. I'm sorry, man. I gotta be 100 with you, man. He's really not all that when it comes to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because like I said, he worships at the altar of white daddy. I mean, that's just what I feel, man. And he's got a lot of female energy just radiating off of him as well, man. That's just my opinion, man. I'm a very good reader of peoples and individuals and whatnot. And that's why I'm laughing. I'm chuckling hard, man, when I'm seeing Angry Man having another meltdown. And he gave BGS the finger. He said, fuck you, BGS. And for the longest, man, I thought to myself, Angry Man's supposed to be a street nigga, man. It's like, he can't tell that BGS is a weak ass nigga, man. I'm like, come on, man. Like, wake the fuck up, Angry Man. This nigga's weak sauce. This nigga's weak. He's the weakest link, man. He wants white daddy to survive. You know what I mean? BGS is always pulling from white sources and disseminating it and feeding it to you like it's the gospel. When it's all basically a disinfo campaign, man. Project Mockingbird is real. And BGS Ibmor takes great delight in feeding you Project Mockingbird talking points, which are false. Feeding you a false narrative and a false reality. I said it, you heard it here. Big Mike is 100%. I'm not wrong about the character and that nigga I speak on this motherfucker, man. I dare you to go back into my catalog and try and see where I was wrong and I was erroneous. Like I said, Angry Man is just now finding out that BGS is a weak ass nigga. Nigga, I knew this a couple years ago. When I started like just listening to his overall spiel, his vibe and his energy. And there could be no doubt that he has let this master teacher shit go to his fucking head, man. I mean, I would never ever worship a nigga or follow any sort of dude, man, who relishes in that shit, man. Because believe it or not, a lot of the cats that rock with me and vibe with me, man, think that I'm a very intellectual, knowledgeable individual. But I always stress over here at Mac City, man, we all teachers and we all students, man. We all feeding each other, man. No man is above the crew over here, man. And I vehemently reject being anyone's messiah or their savior or their teacher. Only the teacher in the aspect that, yes, we teach each other. And that, once again, no man is above the crew. And that's how you can tell if an individual is solid, as far as if you're actually going to follow them. If they reject that numero uno status, that's an individual who has good moral character, man. It's never really set well with me, man. How he kind of like relishes in that master teacher role. That's utterly fucking disgusting to me. And that's how I know homeboy ain't shit. So yeah, he's got a lot of female energy. You can tell he don't really know how to deal with no broads. He can't really control, his daughters or his wife. But he on here giving y'all like male-female advice, relationships and shit. This nigga, he giving y'all Project Mockingbird talking points from the mainstream media and from mainstream articles and magazines and shit. I'm like, bruh, like this shit is tainted, man. All this shit is tainted. And many would say, oh man, that's conspiracy. But nigga, we just talked about Lil Nas X. And it's obvious that there is an agenda when it comes to making black men fun buns. Can you not see? Are you blind? But BGS Ibmor wants you to take information. He wants you to glean knowledge. He wants you to basically have a worldview that's predicated upon information that's given to you by mainstream media and by the majority of social media outlets today. Because there's 5 corporations that pretty much control the world, especially multimedia. And they're pretty much all saying the same thing now. They're on one accord. Because there's just a few at the top that's controlling all this shit. So, no, I don't really have nothing personal against homeboy. It's just that I see him leading a lot of people astray. People that don't really read books or investigate shit. They just relying on him to give info. But unfortunately for him, I'm an old head and I've done a lot of extensive reading on many of the topics that he's supposed to be knowledgeable in or on. And since my business has always been people and reading people, I've always known BGS is weak sauce, man. You could put me in a room with like 10 niggas, man, and I know who the killers are, and I know who the niggas that's faking the funk, man. My gut is supreme. Just one of them talents that you develop when you out here running these streets, man, rubbing elbows with all sorts of characters, man. Especially working in the pen for 10 years. This is a talent that I pick up, man. BGS is a weak ass nigga, man. So go ahead, hit the thumbs down. I know the fanboys is not going to like appreciate that shit. But I hope Angry Man recovers from this, man, because he seems to be taking this rather hard about how his mentor BGS is not really who he claimed himself to be. I was hoping that Angry Man would come to this conclusion at an earlier date, because seriously, I was kind of disappointed in Angry Man's foresight and his vision on this issue. I would hope that Angry Man's gut would have told him something earlier. But it really didn't manifest until Angry Man seen some of the bullshit that he was feeding his little acolytes over his channel about this election. Pretty much everything that BGS was feeding them niggas, man, was like straight off of like CNN. I was like, damn, man. I was like, BGS ain't doing no sort of independent political research or inquiry whatsoever. He is just literally taking the talking points of mainstream media that is all for Biden. I mean, come on, man. How is the media not going to talk about that goddamn laptop and Hunter Biden? How are they just going to just ignore that shit, right? But you got niggas like BGS, man. He's all for it, man. He's singing the praises of Biden and his administration. And I'm like, bruh, do you see what's going on with Biden and China and shit, man, and the Ukraine? Like, bruh, hello? How is that a better alternative than the Trump administration? Like what? I'm like, okay. But hey, I'm going to get on off of that. I ain't going to even speak on that shit, man. I'm like, fuck. I've already done videos pertaining to that. Just wanted to get on here and just let y'all know that no man is above the crew over here at Mac City. We are all students and we are all teachers. And my gut is never wrong. Pretty soon, sooner or later, y'all gonna see even more receipts when it comes to BGS of him just being an emasculated, weak black man who really, lurking in the shadows, worships white daddy. And really secretly does elevate the black woman, the gynocracy, above the patriarchy. So, okay, go ahead, hit the thumbs down. Niggas is gonna be in their feelings. But it is what it is, man. Big Mike, All Mike, Triple XL, coming at y'all live and direct. Hit that Patreon, man, Patreon. Type in Mac City Limits over at that Patreon and come check me out, man. It's as real as it gets, and I'm as real as they come. I'm out.